PK in the universe, and I am back again with another video. And today we're here to talk about the Sinking City. More specifically, we're going to talk about how the gamesplanet version has been delisted, which was really surprising because I never saw any kind of announcements for it at all. Now, what is the gamesplanet version? The gamesplanet version is the game that was made by the devs, Frogwares, and was available to purchase from their website, and there would be a link to the gamesplanet link or whatever to buy it. And that is a DRM-free version of the game. That means there's no DRM at all. Now, there's also been a bit of controversy, and I talked about this in the past. I talked about this in a previous video that I made, because the thing is, Frogwares, the creators of the Sinking City, they had a licensing deal of some kind with Big Ben, which became Nacon or something, I want to say it was and they had a legal dispute about who is the rightful publisher of the game. So this, is it Nacon? I can't remember. Anyways, they basically, at the time of this recording, they had basically been in a legal battle with Frogwares, and they currently do and are producing and publishing the game on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One. Now, Frogwares is not getting any of the money from those sales. In fact, they had those games had all been delisted and then were relisted. And the Steam version is actually like not the right version, not the game Frogwares actually produced. Like basically, it's like a pirated version of the game or something. It's really weird. It's really weird. So my philosophy has always been, I want to support Frogwares. I don't want to support this publisher who basically probably shouldn't even be publishing it and isn't paying Frogwares for their work. So I've always told people you should buy it on the Nintendo Switch, which they self-published. They also self-published the PS5 and Xbox Series version. That's why the Xbox One version isn't backwards compatible with Xbox Series, because of the legal dispute between Frogwares. So when you're playing the Xbox Series X version and PS5 version, those are obviously some very high upscaled versions of the games and are really good. I have the Nintendo Switch version. I mean, this game in general, could have been on a PS3, I feel like, but is a great game. It's so much fun, guys. It's like the right amount. It's like not like bad jank, you know what I mean? Like, it's good. It's a really great game. It's based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft. I'm a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft. And yeah, and it basically is very true to that. You play as a private investigator, and you're having visions or whatever, and the whole vision thing plays into the game. You're a detective, you're investigating, you're also dealing with scary monsters, and the best thing to do with these scary monsters is to run away for the most part and not, try to fight them directly, especially if they're a really big monster. You're trying to solve, cases and things like that. It's really good, and the cases really make you think. I mean, there's some times where I'm like, okay, I give up. I got to go look at a Let's Play, and see how to solve this. It's like, what am I doing? But it can be challenging yet fun. I really love the gritty atmosphere of this game. It is so much fun. But yeah, so the gamesplanet version has completely disappeared. I don't know why. It's really strange. So as far back as February, as I can tell, people talked about the DRM-free version was the good version to buy, and that's what I've been playing actively. I do have the Nintendo Switch version, like I said, but the Nintendo Switch version, again, it's it's great for on the go, but at the end of the day, I want to play it on my big old TV, and I think, playing it on my PC, and I have it hooked up to an old TV of mine, and it works great, and I absolutely love playing it. I've been playing with my Xbox Series controller, and I've been having an absolute blast. I started playing it again. Like, I played it like almost a year ago, and I was streaming it for a little bit, and now I've started playing it again. So I was like, you know what? I want to see if this game is still available, so maybe I can, buy a few codes or whatever and distribute them. And it's kind of a big file. Like, there's like 11 downloads for this thing, it's a big file. I go to look at the gamesplanet website. It's gone. It's totally gone. And it looks like I was doing some research. I was doing my own, Charles Reed's the name of the character. So I was doing a little Charles reading, investigating to see like what happened here. And I couldn't find anything from Frogwares. And I saw a forum as far back as July on the GOG, the Good Old Games or whatever. And apparently somebody else had noticed back in July that this had been delisted. I don't know why it's been delisted. I wish I had an answer, but it really brings up a bigger, larger topic about the importance of DRM-free games, DRM-free digital games. Everybody acts like physical is king, physical is perfect and can do no wrong. And you can buy this game physically on PS4 and Xbox One, and if you buy it used, obviously the publisher, this greedy publisher, is not going to get any of that money. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but obviously I prefer, my personal preference is to try to support the developer any way I can, because they are a company out of Ukraine. They are a developer out of Ukraine, and they're literally developing games in a war zone. They literally just came out with a remake of Sherlock Holmes: The Awakened. It's not a remaster, it's a straight up remake, and they made that in a war zone. That's crazy. Like, they were all like separated, and so these people, you can tell, are working really hard, and I really like what they are making, so of course I want to support them any way I can. And I wanted to support them again by getting some more copies of the Sinking City, and I couldn't, obviously. And, people act like, yeah, again, like physical is the end all be all, but you know what? Physical nowadays is not physical that it used to be. All the game isn't actually on the game disc, because there's, deluxe versions and different versions of the game. And of course, the deluxe version was what was available on gamesplanet. And, the nice thing about DRM-free digital is you can back it up as much as you want. You can make as many copies as you want. And I think that's one of the things that's so important about digital. There's so much talk about DRM versions of digital, but not nearly enough talk about how important DRM-free digital is. I also think about how my son will be 18 years old in like 12 years. So it'd be great to be able to just give him a DRM-free copy of my game, pass that along to him. But you can't do that with DRM digital, obviously. And what's the shelf life on physical media? How long are these discs going to last? How well are they taken care of? That's something that really you have to think about when you consider that. I feel like, DRM-free digital is a great thing, and you see it so much in other places, like itch.io is a great example. There's so many, DRM-free digital games on there that people can get even for free sometimes. So I wanted to talk about, the larger topic of, people act like physical is the end all be all, but the truth of the matter is digital DRM-free games are the future, in my opinion, because at the end of the day, customers just want control over their purchases. And, there's going to be systems in the future that are never going to have physical media. So then I think if that happens, you're going to see more people shift to PC, especially when there's a digital DRM-free option. Or consoles, the video game console makers are going to have to get with the times. They're going to have to get with the times. The companies like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, they got to get with the times, and they have to make DRM-free digital games that you can do what you want with them. Because at the end of the day, people just want to be able to do what they want with their games. And that's why there's such a love and affinity for physical, because nobody can take that physical game away from you. They can take that DRM digital game away from you. But if it's a DRM free thing, it's really yours. You can do what you please with it. I think a lot of these big publishers and the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox, Microsoft, are just, they don't trust the audience. They don't trust the consumers to not, steal everything and, distribute it everywhere. But the reality is that's going to happen regardless. But customers, I feel like, are more willing to come back when they know that, a Sony, a Nintendo, a Microsoft trusts the consumer to do what they want with the thing that they are being sold. I think you'd see more people buy things day one. I also think, of course, the thing about digital too, is there's always updates, and I think, again, that's another bigger, larger issue of games being complete and whatnot, but I'm getting off track here. Yeah, my point is, I feel like there's so much conversation about digital versus physical, but the thing that does not get talked about enough is DRM-free digital. And I don't know why this game has all of a sudden disappeared off the gamesplanet website, and I wish there was another place that I could go buy that, because I would love to buy more copies of that and distribute it to a couple of friends who I think would really like this game. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Are you a fan of DRM-free digital? Comment below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and stay awesome in this universe. Thanks. Bye.